Good morning, everybody. This is Karen O'Neill from La Cruz de Guanacaste in the state of Nayarit. And I'm so happy that we have Zoom and we can get together like this, where we're all in so many places, even Portugal this morning. So it's exciting to get together for our Monday morning miracle call. And we call it that, not because there isn't a ton of science backing this, because there is, but all of these wonderful things that keep happening with our X39, our stem cell patch, just feel like miracles. They seem like miracles, and they're so amazing that we have to call it that. It's awesome. So when we come on this morning, I'm going to invite you to raise your hand. I would love you to come on and give your testimonies. The first 10 to 15 minutes, first half of our program, maybe even 20 minutes. Stick with your product experience with X39 only. And the reason is it's such an all-encompassing, wonderful product that often you don't need anything else. And we do recommend that you use just X39 for the first 3 months or so until you really see what's going on. Add the other technology. So if you can stick with that, and what I'd like you to do is raise your hand so I know who to call on and who's ready, and wait until you're completely finished before you lower your hand. And the way we do it is you say how it was, that you use the X39, or later on in the show, if you want to add some other patches, that'll be okay, and how you are now. And I'll give a little quick demo. Talked about the X39 really helping with sun tolerance. I used to get sunburns within 30 minutes. I'm living in Mexico. It's sunny every day. I use a little bit of sunscreen when I'm going to be out for 12 hours because that's prudent, right? But I don't get sunburned anymore, and that's X39. So let's go on. We've got Cheryl. Come on in. Let's hear your testimony. Don't forget to unmute, Cheryl.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi, Cheryl. Yes, hello.
Hi.
Come on in.
We live in North Carolina. We started about a week ago. The first for me is I noticed that my brain just continues to run at full speed when I go to bed at night. I'm 77, and immediately I noticed the first night that I used it, and since then I'm gone to sleep almost immediately. My husband comes in after me from showering and I'm already sound asleep. So this is just a miraculous thing for me. And his pains are lessening in his thumbs. He was at probably a 10 when he would go to bed at night, and he couldn't even sleep because of his pain in his thumbs. And they're reducing now to where he says he doesn't have any pain in his thumbs at night. And it's still during the day, he's got a little bit, but it's lessening quite a bit. I hope that's good.
Nice.
That's awesome. That's awesome, Cheryl. And you know what? That's life-changing. Life-changing when you can get rid of that pain and you can sleep at night and your brain is on fire. Woohoo! That is life-changing. Thank you, Cheryl, for sharing.
I just brought on my first person today who joined up with us to have her benefits too. So we'll be welcoming Jan on board soon.
Awesome. Thank you, Cheryl. All right, we're going to go to Tammy Ray and then Shannon Atkinson. And we don't have any more hands up, so be thinking of your story you're going to share. X39. Come on, Tammy.
Good morning. I'm Tammy from Maine. I'm one of the Maine group ladies and men. I'm 61 years old. I started 2.5 years ago with X39. My symptoms then were brain fog. I had a lot of cognitive issues, body issues, the whole bit. The first time I put the X39 on, within 20 minutes, my headaches were dissipating. And I felt it overall.
Woo-hoo!
I felt, yeah. I have a lengthy story, but I'm going to keep it short. So then within like 3 weeks, I had another change, like my sleeping habits, the whole bit. My joints started feeling better, blah, blah, blah. 2.5 years later, I'm running with my grandchildren now, which I didn't do before because I had body aches everywhere. My headaches, I had one this year because I caught like a sinus cold or something, but I've pretty much been headache and migraine free. And I know I'm probably not supposed to say all that, but anyways, my body I feel like I'm 25 all over again. I'm feeling wonderful. I'm able to speak without stuttering or, use the same words over and over again. I hardly liked talking because I couldn't pull the words up fast enough in my brain. So that's my story. There's a lot more to it, but that's my story today. I feel fabulous. I can't wait to see what I feel like in another 2.5 years. That's all. Thank you for
Tammy,
letting me
thank you. And
share.
congratulations.
Thank you
Yes,
for letting me
congratulations
share.
for all the wonderful, on all the wonderful changes. They are so exciting. Thank you.
Yes, thank
Shannon,
you.
come on in.
Good morning, everyone. This is Shannon Atkinson in Colorado Springs, Colorado. And I just wanted to give an update on this precious lady. She's, I would say, around 65 years old. I went to a home group get together from people from our church. It was my first time there. And she said, oh my goodness, I cut my hand earlier today. And I said, well, let me take a look. And it was a really deep gouge right across her palm of her hand. And it was bad. It was like, we might want to take you to the hospital. She goes, oh no, I don't want to do that. So I said, okay, no problem. And of course, Robin always teaches us to have our first aid kit. I put an X39 on right away. We cleaned it up, of course. The next day I went back, I brought her 6 more patches. And then of course, she decided to place an order for 30 X39 patches. And I just had a chance to see her last Thursday. I said, oh, by the way, can I take a look at your hand? I'm not kidding you. She opens up her palm and I said, well, where's the cut? There was no scar tissue, nothing. I could barely even see where it was. And we were all just amazed how fast that healed.
That's why we call it Monday Morning Miracle Call. It does seem like a miracle, doesn't it? Especially sometimes as people age, they don't heal as well unless you have X39. And I did not do the disclaimer. You guys did a great job not naming named diseases. We are not trying to take the place of your doctor. We are not claiming to cure or diagnose or treat any named diseases. We just watch what our bodies do when we put this patch on. And over time, it's wonderful. Those of you that get the really quick results, fabulous. Those of you that are like me, that are slower results, still fabulous. So it doesn't matter because you will get results always. Thank you, Shannon. Yay. All right, Jerry, come on in. And then I'm gonna be looking for some more hands, you guys. Hi, Jerry.
Hi, good morning, everybody. I just wanted to touch base. My husband, it's been about a year ago. I guess he's been on the patches about a year, and he was to the doctors about a year ago. And doctor always says, is anything else wrong? And he says, well, yeah, severe pain in his hands. And he says, let's take an x-ray. And so they took an x-ray, and when he came back, he says, you have the condition in your joints and that. He says, it is really bad. And he says, can I really do anything? He said, no. Well, about that time is when he started the patches. And he loves to be out in the yard pruning and everything. And he doesn't have any pain anymore. It's gone.
Woo, from severe to none. Oh my God, yeah. Sounds like a miracle to me, but it is science. That's awesome. Right. Thank you, Jerry. And you told that so beautifully and succinctly. Thanks. All right. So next is Henrietta. How do you say your name, Henriette?
Henrietta is fine.
Okay, come on, Henrietta.
Hi, I broke my wrist yesterday evening, and my first thought was, let me get home to my patches because I need to put my patches on, and this is going to be a little more than just X39. It's a pretty severe break from what I know from the x-rays this morning, but this is an ahead of time test drive, right? In that I put X39, I put 2 X39s on. I was able to sleep at night. The pain was not horrible. I took them off this morning when I went to the hospital, and I just put them back on again because now I am here. So it's very little pain, which is enormous for the way that X-ray looks. It's a clean break, but it's a deep one. So we're going to be watching this in progress. Okay. My next step is to call the surgeon.
We'll be waiting to hear.
Yeah.
We're going to be really waiting to hear your updates. And when I broke my shoulder, the doctors told me that a broken bone is about the worst pain you can get, besides unless you have something else where it's metastasized. So that tells you that these are powerful, powerful light therapy patches. They're awesome. Okay, so
thank you.
I don't see any more hands up. Thank you. You did a beautiful job telling that story, and we're looking forward to the updates. All right, we need someone to step forward and give us your story because I don't see any more hands up. And there's Christine. Come on in, Christine.
Good morning. Hi. I live in the Bay Area in California, and I'm 72 years old. The first thing that I noticed from using X39 was that I wasn't getting attacks, and I was just getting attacks like from virus probably every 2 weeks. And that was the first thing that I noticed that went entirely away. And then the next thing I noticed that I was getting 2 more hours of sleep in the morning. That was so that would have been more like months in, and after using X39. And then what I'm noticing currently, which is maybe more like 3.5 months in or 4 months in, is I had joint pain down in the sciatica area, the sacrum area, ilium area. And I was noticing when I was driving, and I have a special pillow that I use to do pelvic clock exercises, is that there wasn't any pain there anymore. And I kept doing the exercises like back and forth and forward and back and all the different, ways that I could move. And I was like, oh, that's not there anymore. That's really cool.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I know we're all so happy that we made that decision to use these patches. Okay, we have some people who are stepping forward. Sometimes our people who've been here for a while, they sort of hold back with their hand, giving some people a chance to share, and then they step forward when they know we need them. So Sunshower, why don't you come on in?
Oh, okay. I thought Casey was before me. You want Casey on?
She might have been, but I don't. No,
Okay.
just go ahead. It's okay, because
Okay.
you don't stay in order up there.
Okay. So I'm Sunshower in Sedona. I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of you when you can come and visit us for our event in 1 week with Gregory and Robin being in Sedona. That'd be great. So 2.5 years. Let's see. I had a pain just under my left rib for 17 years after a slight injury. That wasn't so slight after all. Nobody could help it. And so the second day of wearing X39, right at the point of pain, that pain disappeared and it's never returned. I've had other experiences too. Let me just tell you a couple. I've had sometimes a lymph node here just kind of enlarge, get hard. It was hard to chew. It hurt a lot. Within, I'd say 20 minutes, X39 gone. The reduction, perfect, back to normal. And then the most exciting one of all, it took about 2 years for this to happen. And as Gregory would say, it happened just a month before our aroma therapy mists came out.
Sunshower, I'm not hearing you, but I don't know if it's my internet or yours.
Yes, it's yours, Helen. I can hear
Maybe
fine.
My internet.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Sunshower.
Oh, okay. So I have not been able to smell my entire life. Suddenly I was able to smell.
This is big stuff. Thanks, you
That's
guys.
amazing. That's so amazing. So I think that Karen might be having trouble. So Casey, you're next. Go ahead.
Okay, thanks. A dear friend of mine was a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader and a professional dancer and had a studio. And so she had numerous back issues, leg issues, ankle issues, she had issues. And when she first started the X39 about a year ago, she was absolutely blown away by how much, so much body aches just kind of disappeared. And I did not know that for 20 years, that poor woman suffered with hand tremors. So I never saw them. I guess I didn't pay attention. But she always said that when she was with me, she felt less stress. And so it wasn't as evident. But she has suffered for 20 years. So she put on the Nirvana and in 2 days, they were gone. So she's very, very blessed.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing, Casey. And yes, I was having internet problems. So thanks, Gregory. Oh, Casey, that's wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
John, you're next. And then Jennifer. Yeah, Jennifer.
Yeah, hi, everybody. Just want to tell a quick story about my brother. He lives in Bangkok, Thailand, and he's been a smoker for all his since he was 15 years old. He's my younger brother. He's 72 years old, and he's kind of a naysayer type. And so he's been wearing the X39 for about 2.5, 3 months now. And I asked him, "Hey, do you feel anything? Anything different?" He says, "Nah, no changes." And then he told me the other day, he said, "I've had this cyst on the back of my neck or a boil or whatever it is." And he said, sometimes it really acts up and pusses and gets pretty grungy. And I said, "Yeah, well, how's it now?" He says, "I don't know, it's gone." So after a few years of this cyst, it disappeared. So that's kind of my story and the X39 with my brother.
Thanks, John. It
Yeah.
is the morning miracle chat. That's wonderful. Thank you, Jennifer. Come in, you guys. This is awesome. I'm loving the stories.
Oh, I had the most exciting voice text from one of my team members this week. And she just was beside herself. She said, "I'm freaking out in a really good way." Not only did her dermatologist have to take a picture of her scalp to show her how much more her hair had grown back, and this was after her first month on X39. But this week, she had come back from a DEXA scan, and she's only been on X39 3 months. And on the second month, she started using X49, but was kind of using it every other day and maybe using some of the used ones just because she was just thought I'd add a little bit. But for 5 years, she's had a significant decrease in her bone density, is why they require her to go every single year. And this year, she had a 5.3% increase in her bone density. She was so
wow.
Because they said, "You need to be on medication." And she said, "I don't want to be on medication." So this was very exciting to her.
Oh, Jennifer, thank you for sharing that, because that is one of the things that X49, they're doing some really cool studies about that bone density. So that is beautiful and wonderful and exciting. I love it. All right, Carolyn, come on in. And then we have Janet and Jerry. Did you want to go again later, or did you just leave your hand up? Okay, got it. So Jerry. So
Good morning
Carol,
from
Janet, Jerry.
Seattle. My X39 story, as I stated, started in late July. Very skeptical. Jennifer got me all set up with patches, and 6 weeks later, I had dominant hand surgery to replace the carpa metacarpal, that's called the CMC joint in my thumb. This was the third surgery I had on the same joint to have it replaced. I healed so quickly, 10 days post-op. I could drive, type, write, floss. I could chop veggies very, very carefully. I could fold laundry, and I skipped my entire 3rd month of physical therapy. And the reason I wanted to raise my hand is I have a friend who had a very bad ski accident a few days ago. I guess it was Thursday, and another skier hit her. The one that hit her sounds like he was a football player. He broke his shoulder. She has a concussion, a broken clavicle, broken ribs, a broken pelvis, a hairline fracture in her right ankle, and she's badly bruised all over. And I told her sister, who does use the patches, we need to send her some patches. And so my question is, besides X39 and 49, I'm the first one mentioning other patches at 8:21 here. I'm thinking Eon and Ice Wave, but is there another patch that would also help with the bruising? And I'm just curious about the patch protocol for this bone theme this morning.
I totally agree with you on the Eon and the Ice Wave. When my shoulder was broken and I had surgery, sometimes I had 10 patches there. Once it would start hurting a little bit, I'd stick one of those patches on. You might think about carnosine, because carnosine is a really good muscle and tissue rebuilder. So you might consider that one as well, because her accident sounds really traumatic. So anybody else? Anyone want to add something to that?
Yes, I would just like to add to use the energy enhancer as well to increase that circulation, because with all those fractures and she's, going to be getting cast on or whatever, it would be really nice to have her circulation working smoothly in her in the patches and all that we have in those patches to get all throughout the body in an efficient manner.
Thank you.
And that was very good professional advice.
And to have your cast on, it will still go through 3 to 6 inches, right?
Well, just remember the patches work systemically, which means they go throughout the whole body. So if you can get it relatively close, that's helpful, but it's not necessary. You can put them on the feet and they're still going to affect the rest of the body. If she wants to, she can put it inside a cast a little bit. The patches work both directions. So be creative.
Recording in progress.
Thank you.
Hey, everybody.
Well,
I
I'm
just
thinking
wanted to
that
pop in, but we've got to get Jim off of the feedback. When I had surgery on my hand, I was surgical dressing from here, thumb bone removed, and the dressing went all the way down this way. I took my patches and tucked them under the edges. But as Shannon said, they're going to work basically wherever you put them on your body. But for some reason, it just seems like when I targeted that area, it just seemed to respond faster.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, and I like the idea that you tucked them in, because it can't always go through the cast, because that's almost a it's a barrier. So that's great advice, everybody. Thank you, and let's move on. I think Janet's next, and then Jerry and Paul and Carolyn.
Good
And if I
morning,
forget the order, I'm
everybody.
sorry.
Okay. Good morning. I want to just tell you quickly, it's so interesting because I'm a nurse anesthetist, so I have used my hands a lot with what I do. And I had a CMC joint issue that they kept saying I needed surgery on. Extreme pain. I was having it injected every 3 to 6 months to try to ward off having surgery. And I have no pain in that joint anymore. I've been on the patches for 13 months now. And probably by month 3 or 4, I have no pain there. So I avoided surgery, which is exciting. I love that. The other thing I want to talk to you about is I have an 89-year-old lady who is using my patches, or the patches, they're not mine. And she really wasn't seeing anything really big going on. And then the last time I talked to her, she'd been on about 2 months, 2.5 months. She said, well, I think I have more energy and I'm sleeping better. And, you know, I stripped my bed and washed my sheets and remade my bed, which is the first time I've done that in 10 years. So, well, that's a big change.
Wow,
That's
that's a
awesome to be
deal.
able to do what you want and have the energy and strength. She said, yeah, my back didn't hurt so bad. I could do it all on my own. So that was exciting for her and for me.
Life changing. These patches do change our lives. Jerry and then Paul. I'm not sure what order I said, but somebody seemed to drop out. So Jerry, go, and then Paul.
Okay, I'm just repeating a story one of my teammates from Pittsburgh last night had told, which I'll be seeing at the end of the month. Her husband fell down a flight of marble steps on his back. And I had spoken to her later, and the whole back was bruised. It showed the steps on it. The butt was bruised. He had a baseball-sized lump on his kidney. And she believes wholeheartedly in the patches and was patching him and everything. And when he had gone to the doctors, the doctor even had asked, are these working? He says, well, yeah, I think they are. He says, well, keep doing them. But anyways, in less than 2 weeks, there's no bruising left on his back. And the lump is down to like maybe a tiny, tiny little bump on his kidney.
Wow.
That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Thank you, Jerry. That was a good share. Love it. Okay, Paul, and we are close to the bottom of the hour. So if you have a story, get your hand up now, and then we'll turn it over after a bit. So come on in, Paul.
Okay, I've been using now the patches X39 for about 2.5 years, and I've gotten incredible results, and I've shared that before. But I have a friend who's been taking medication and not realizing one of the side effects that happens is that he's losing all of his muscle strength. Here's a guy that's a great golfer and can't even play golf, can't even open a bottle anymore. So give me an idea, besides X39, what else could I use to help him rebuild his muscle?
Definitely, for muscle, I would go carnosine, X49. Who else has some suggestions? I think Sunshower was in agreement with me.
X49 for sure.
Yeah, I would definitely say
Yeah.
X49. Also, glutathione, if he's dealing with that many medications, he needs to get as much of that out because it sounds like he's getting it build up. And always highly recommend purified water at all. You know, that's absolutely essential. So those are my advice.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Hopefully that was helpful for you. And we
Yes,
have Greg.
thank you.
Good, Paul. We have Greg.
Yeah,
Come
hi.
on
I was
in.
going to answer that. I'm going to be 60 and I've been a health coach and a retired park ranger. So I got quite a background, and atrophy happens from too much sugar and alcohol and other things that you have to do. So if you remember to add in those things with the patches and then do the X39 and the 49, and you'll have really good rebuilding of the muscles. That's what I found for me.
Awesome. Thank you.
Awesome. And Greg, I'm glad you brought that up because patches do a lot, but lifestyle also does a lot. What you eat, what you drink, how you move, those are extremely important. And the thing is, within the patches, it's easier to do all of those things and to do them in a better lifestyle. So remember, if you've got an addiction to sugar or alcohol, you know, use that SP6. Let's get going with it, guys. And a lifestyle, get that lifestyle, because between that and the patches, I know John, he's a big lifestyle guy, and he would agree with that. So it looks like we're at the end. I don't have any more hands up. I would like to take this moment to say thanks everybody for being here, and with the time change and everything. I almost missed it because Mexico's time did not change. So it's usually 10 for me. So I was lucky I happened to hear something on a little news thing about the time change about 15 minutes before 9. So it was awesome. So thanks everybody for being on the call. And Robin and Gregory, I'm going to turn the call over to you and keep on patching.
Okay. Oops.
Wonderful job, Karen. And oh my gosh, all these great stories. Yeah, if there's anything that happens with muscles and bones, that brand new study that got published just recently, and if you look on the new website, it's so well organized, it's so easy to find. X49 helps with bone and muscle density. So those broken bones, try it. Okay, so tonight we get to celebrate a brand new presidential. And that is a very exciting thing. That doesn't happen very often. Barbara Lippincott is our new presidential, and her sponsor, Connie Lucas, will be introducing her this evening. So that's what we got going on tonight. The Power of the Patch is happening. You guys are using it. We recommend everybody watch it. Register yourself, see how simple it is. You won't be getting the notices from the text reminders, but you do get an email reminder an hour before. Share from 4 times a week to 42 times a week. Woohoo! And then tomorrow night, I'm waiting for confirmation from Dr. Tom. I think he's on the call this morning. So Dr. Tom, if you're available tomorrow night, that would be wonderful to have you with us, and we will confirm that later if he's not
Man, I love it.
already. So anyway, that's what we got going on, and we are excited because, as Sunshower said, we are headed to Arizona for 10 days. We leave on Thursday morning. So there's several of you, I know Janet and Barbara and Michelle are all flying in, and Jen are all flying in from out of town. So we're going to have a wonderful, wonderful reunion. And thank you everyone for your compliance shares, for keeping the X39 focus. Makes a huge difference, especially for new people. For the first 90 days, that's all I wore. And our success came from that single product focus. So keep it simple. That's what duplicates.
I have to
Anything
go
else,
by
Sunny?
stamps, but you don't have to.
Nope. Gregory says we're done. And
It's
so
just
we'll
one.
see you this evening, everyone.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Have a lovely day, everybody.
Bye. Thanks for being here.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Amazing testimonial.
Bye.
Thank you. Great call. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
You can't hear me because you got a plug in your.
One.
I said I'm sorry.